Welcome back, everybody. I got a very interesting video for you guys today. This is a very fascinating video. And to start with is, I'm going to talk about a little bit of what Pedro, Mr. Bet on You, Santiago, he said something about that the delivery driver community of independent contractors, how we did strikes, how we did expos, we did meetings, and nothing changed. So don't expect any changes or support from the community or from the country itself. He's right about that. And some of you guys might say that because of where the video is going today, the star clown of the show is yesterday I made a video. I'm talking about there's a delivery crisis going on. And I had one user by the name Starbuck Chaser. He left me comments. You guys can go to my previous video, the one that I talk about the delivery crisis, and you look them up. Look up the conversation in the comments. To get a perspective. Now, some of you might say, well, why are you trying to give this guy, trying to bring him into the spotlight, trying to give him attention? No. He's just an example of millions of people like him. He's just using him as an example. And as you can see in the comments, he's trying to say that I'm trying to chase him. No, I'm trying to get information. I'm trying to get information to put out there for the people to understand what the hell is going on in the country. So, for Mr. Starbuck Chaser, my channel is about delivery drivers who are independent contractors. Like, that's a new thing. And it's very hard to understand according to him. Like, he never heard of DoorDash and ubereats. Like, it's something new. He must be living under a rock. And that's another thing. Millions like him are living under a rock. You know why? Because the subject matter of the video, it's about delivery drivers. It's about the delivery service that's been around for years. The video is not talking about algebra, calculus, science, physics, astronomy, things that might be hard to understand. We're talking about food delivery. Food delivery, it's a very hard concept for Mr. Starbuck Chaser to understand. Oh, I don't understand what the title is about. And another thing he said that, and you can see that in the comments, that I'm trying to, purposely trying to do a 30-second mark of my video just to sucker people in to get my people to watch my video. That would apply if my videos were monetized. And I do have monetization. But I don't monetize my videos. So that cannot be it. And 99% of the comments of that video, they all responded and understood what I was talking about. But one person who is not an independent contractor, who's not a delivery driver, who's not in a delivery service, he didn't get it. Because to understand what we're doing, it's very hard to understand. It takes rocket science. It takes Yale University diploma to understand it. You got to have a master's to understand what we're doing, according to him. It's a very hard concept. Like we're talking about physics. There you go. That's why when UDM He probably doesn't even know when I say the name UDM, which is fine. But because you don't understand something, you don't go on somebody's video and try to harass them and be an ass and disrespectful. If it didn't make any sense for YouTube to send you the video, you see that it's not related, all you do is move on. Like you are the only one, Mr. Starbucks Chaser, like you are the only one that will get an unrelated video suggestion from YouTube. Like all of us in America, we don't get that. But how do we react to that when that happens? You act normally. You see that this video doesn't make any sense for them to send you, just move on. There's no reason to respond. It wasn't the fault of the person that made the video. That's YouTube. Take it up with YouTube if you have issues. If that's a big problem, somebody that made a video that was not on purposely trying to be sent to this person, because I don't control that, but somehow I do control of what I put in my tags, and in my tags of the video, I put in DoorDash as a tag, Uber Eats, Walmart Spark, and gig economy. Those are the 4 things that I added in the tags. And also you can see in my description, I got tags there as well. What does it say there? The evidence is right there on the video. What does it say? Hashtag DoorDash. Hashtag Uber Eats. Hashtag gig economy. Why we do that? We do that so these videos will go to people who are related to what the tags are. They made a mistake and send the video to you. But you're acting like a clown though. And that's a good thing you're acting like a clown. That gives me evidence to show the people out there, millions are like him. He's not the only one. He's just an example. There's millions like him. And who do you think those non-tippers are out there? There's an example right there. People like Mr. Starbucks Chaser. The ones that don't tip, they're just like him. Those are the type of people who don't tip. Will they order a pizza or not? Oh, I tip, I put in $1. You guys get my point? Those are the ones that complain a lot. He was saying that I'm complaining in my video. And I should do something about it. Guess what? Drivers have been doing something about it. I just said it in the beginning of the video. They've done a lot of things. They have done delivery driver meetings. They have done expos. They have done shows. They have done strikes. They have done a lot of things. And the people who are aware of the gig economy and the delivery service industry, they don't give an F about it. What does that say about people who are not even familiar with the whole delivery service? Like it's very hard to understand, but there you go. What a UDM said. This goes back to what UDM said. And for Mr. Starbucks Chaser, UDM, okay, is a guy in Florida who has a channel who's a delivery driver. He works in the delivery service as an independent contractor. And it goes by the name UDM. Okay? Because when I make videos, there have to be a walkthrough and a tutorial for Mr. Starbucks Chaser to understand. My previous video was not a walkthrough, and it was not a tutorial for him to understand. Either you get it, you don't, because it's not science, and it's not rocket science, and it's not physics, and it's not astronomy or calculus. It's delivery drivers. You order a pizza and you have a delivery driver bring it to your home. You want a walkthrough? You want a tutorial for that. That's why the IQ of the country is down. That's why the country is in a mess. Because there's millions of sons of bitches just like him. Millions. Millions of people just like him. Clowns. Just clowns. Bunch of fruitcakes like him. A bunch of fruitcakes and soft like him. And I know some of you drivers like, oh, you're trying to give him. No, it's not about him. It's not about him. It's about millions of people just like him. That's why when UDM said the best thing, what did UDM say? Nobody is going to understand you except another driver who's just like you. That's the number one word of wisdom right there. Those are the words of wisdom right there from UDM. Nobody is going to understand you except for another driver who is just like you. Other than that, you're on your own with the rest of the people. Because it's very hard for them to understand. They never heard of ubereats. They never heard of DoorDash. They never heard of the delivery service. It's just new to them. This guy, the stock buck chaser, he must be living under a rock then. He didn't understand what the topic is about. He didn't understand what the video is about. Everybody else did. Everybody else did. You can see the comments. They all replied. They all got the point 100%, except for him. So you have to be yourself a delivery driver to understand what another delivery driver is talking about. The most easiest thing. Anybody can become a delivery driver. Anybody. A 10-year-old understands it, but not Mr. the Starbucks chaser. It's too hard on him. I'm sorry. If this is too hard for you for the past whatever, I don't know how old you look, like 30 or 40, or maybe even older. If you didn't learn the easiest things in life, I'm not going to help you. I don't need to make a tutorial and a walkthrough about what we're doing. It's self-explanatory. It's the most easiest shit on the planet. And you do not need a degree to become a delivery driver. I'm sorry. Delivering food delivery, this person needs a walkthrough and a tutorial to what we're talking about. Really. For food delivery. For food delivery, there you go. That's why the country's in a mess for the past 4 years. We know why. People like him. An example just like him. Millions sons of bitches just like him. Everything is too hard for them to understand. Like we're talking physics and rocket science, it's too hard. It's very hard. And I'm not doing anything about it. If I didn't care, I would not make videos about it. Our videos is about what? An awareness and a communication between other drivers. We'll communicate when we're making videos as well. I'll let them know, other drivers, I'll let them know about what's going on in my location, in my market. They respond with information about what's going on in their area, in their state that they live in their city, in their town. And we gather information to see what's going on. We're informing one another. We're bringing out information with one another. To help, I got to have millions of dollars and I create my own company. And I know how to run it the right way. The money's got to be there. Other than that, what kind of help you looking at? They all done it. They all done strikes. They done expos. They did a lot of things. Drivers did a lot of things. But the people who are in power, who can make the changes, they're ignorant. And they don't care about it. So there you go. There it is. Only when they start ordering food and there's nobody to deliver to them, that's when everybody's going to start caring. And I know a lot of responses are going to be, a lot of people are there, well, we don't care. We'll go pick it up. We could care less if there's a delivery service out there or not. You know why? Because it exists now, and that's why they're saying it. Once the delivery service disappears, with everything, with UPS, with FedEx, with food delivery, with Walmart delivery, with grocery deliveries, all the delivery service disappears, they're going to cry like little babies. They're used to this. They're hooked into this. They're so used to this. It's a habit now. You think they're gonna take it lightly when it all disappears? Hell no. Then they're gonna start crying. Then they're gonna remember. So they don't understand what fire is until their hand gets put into the fire, and then they need to understand after that, oh, that's what fire is. That's the stupidity. You can take the horse to the water, but you cannot make it drink it, man. People like this guy, Starbucks chaser, they drown in a cup of water. They'll drown. They'll drown in a cup of water. Flaky people. They're flaky. Ignorant sons of bitches. They're just ignorant. And ignorance is a bliss in this country. We understand that. Because of what the subject matter is. We're talking about the most easiest shit. Now, if I was talking sophisticated, hard things, like rocket science and physics and whatnot, then I can say, well, this is too much for you. The subject matter is a little bit more things going on than your average daily life, let's say. We're talking about the food delivery service industry. We're talking about delivery drivers. People that pizza delivery driver. Even back in the 80s, they had pizza delivery drivers. People that deliver your groceries. This didn't start yesterday. And just because you're not in it, it's not that hard to understand what we're talking about. Being what the subject matter is. It's that sophisticated for people to understand. If that's sophisticated, the delivery industry, the food delivery industry is so sophisticated to understand, which is the most easiest subject matter in my video, then what does that say about everything else in life? You must be way overwhelmed to understand. If you cannot understand the food industry, the food delivery service, you must be overwhelmed with everything else that's tougher than that. I don't know what to say with these people, man. It's just, I don't know what to say. And we see for 4 years, how the country was running. And how many dumbasses they were agreeing with it. They were agreeing with the mess. They're agreeing with the chaos that was going on for 4 years. They say, oh, it's great. There you go. There's the example. I'm using him as an example. It's people like him. It's people like him. You see people like that, you just walk the other way, man. Don't give them the time of day. If they didn't grow up and learn the most easiest and simple facts of life growing up, and they're in their 30s and 40s today, or 50s, and they still haven't learned anything, the most simplest shit, it's too late for them to understand it. It's too late. They had their whole life to learn. Now, it's too late for them to learn. They'll never get it. If they never get it growing up, they're never going to get it now. And on the other hand, they don't care. They just don't care for it until it hits them on the head. When it hits them on the head, then they'll try to go out there and try to care for it and try to understand it. And that's how it is. And there we are. And that's why things are in the state that they are. And that's why things are the way they are. Period. And it's not going to change. Maybe, I don't know when in the future, but for the time being, it still hasn't changed. The ignorance is still there. Period. And you drivers, you understand when I'm making a video, it's pretty much mostly for independent contractors. Or let's say independent contractors who are delivery drivers. Let's make a tutorial, a walkthrough. More detailed information for people like Mr. Starbucks says to understand, because it's very hard to understand what we're doing. This occupation that we're doing, it's very complex. It's too sophisticated. But a 10-year-old understands what it is. A 10-year-old knows what it is, but there are people out there who are ignoramuses, man. They've been living under a rock. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say anymore. I'm done with people like that. I'm just done. I'm just done. They're zombies. A lot of people have let the technology run their life, and in turn, what's going on with people's minds? They have been zombified. That's my new word. Zombies. They have been zombified. And you see them walking around. Ignorant people. And that's why everything is a mess. And if it gets, the trend keeps going like that, it's going to get even worse. Enough said. You guys, you watched my previous video. You all responded normally. 99% of you understood what I was saying. You responded in kind, and you responded with additional information about your areas, about your market, and what's going on with the delivery service. This Momo, he got a video, like he's the only one, that got a video that was not related to what he sees on YouTube. But in the past, how many people did I get on my channel with the same thing? With people that it was suggested to them, my video, that had nothing to do with it. They were not related, it was not related to the videos that they were watching on YouTube. But they still responded. You know why? They responded and responded correctly. You know why? Because it's easy to understand what we're doing. Even people who never heard about the delivery service industry. Maybe they never had a pizza delivered to their home. Never. They still understood what was going on. They still responded. You know why? Because it's not that hard what we do. It's not hard. It's ridiculous, guys. It's ridiculous. I have to grab people, grown-ass people by the hand, like little toddlers. Grown-ass people got to hold them by the hand like little toddlers and show them, hey, Timmy, this is a delivery driver. This is what we do. This is the delivery service industry. This is the delivery drivers. I got to teach them about what the delivery driver is, to understand what delivery driver is about. We're done as a society if that's the case. We're done. We're done as a society. We're just done. There you go. Enough said. Catch you guys later.